Hi, welcome to Learn English and Practice with Marie. Today we're going to do American English Idioms lesson number 47. We'll go through 5 idioms and review their meanings, a couple of examples, and we'll read a story at the end so you can hear those idioms in context. This is a series, so if you like this video, subscribe for more. Let's get started. First, I'll read the idioms. Take the wind out of your sails. Give it a whirl. Ball is in your court. Cut and dried. Kick the bucket. Take the wind out of your sails. This means to be disappointed, often in response to criticism or the commentary of others. So here, we're not literally talking about ships and wind affecting sails. Rather, we're talking about disappointment. But you can picture a ship, and if the wind gets taken out of the sails, the ship slows down. It doesn't move because it doesn't have that energy and forward momentum. The same thing can happen to a person. So for example, I was really excited to see the live action Snow White, but then in talking to a friend, I found out that the reviews have been terrible and that a lot of people didn't really enjoy the film. And that really took the wind out of my sails as I went to go watch it. I was kind of defeated, disappointed, not looking forward to it anymore. It made me a lot less excited. Incidentally, I did like the movie. Examples are, when they rejected my proposal, it really took the wind out of my sails. His harsh criticism took the wind out of her sails. Give it a whirl. This means to try something. So the word whirl means spin. And this idiom supposedly has its origins in the late 19th century, where in order to start an engine, you would whirl a component. So to give it a whirl means to go ahead and try something out and to start something. So typically, it's trying something that you're not necessarily an expert at or that you haven't practiced much before. So if someone invited me to go to an archery class and learn how to shoot arrows from a bow, I would say, sure, I'll give it a whirl. Examples are, I've never tried yoga before, but I'll give it a whirl. He decided to give cooking a whirl for the first time. Ball is in your court. This means it is your responsibility to make a decision or take action, not mine. So, like many American idioms, this is a sports reference. A court is a space where sports are played, at least certain sports, and to say the ball is in your court means it's your turn to play. So, if I did a project at work and I finished it and passed it off to the next person, I would say, hey, the ball is in your court. The next person maybe is responsible for communicating based off that project or for sharing it with the leadership or whatever it is. So I did my part, now it's time to do yours. Examples are, I've made my offer, now the ball is in your court. After providing all the information, the ball is in the client's court. Cut and dried. This means something that is settled or decided. So to be cut and dried means that it's something very definitive. So no subtlety, no gray area. I know when I was teaching, I would encounter cases where there was plagiarism. Sometimes the cases were cut and dried, where it was very clear that the student went to an online source or multiple online sources and copied segments verbatim. That's a cut and dried case. And then other times it wasn't cut and dried. The student maybe used inspiration from another piece, but didn't take the words exactly. So definitely a little more nuance there. Examples are, the decision was cut and dried. There was no room for debate. The rules are cut and dried with no exceptions. Kick the bucket. This means to die. And it's a joking, light-hearted, almost sarcastic way to say to die. It's definitely kind of referencing death in a joking way. And when I say, like, when I kick the bucket, I'm being lighthearted. It's not an idiom you'd use in a serious circumstance. So I know a lot of people have bucket lists, and that is a reference to this idiom. So a bucket list is a list of things that you want to do before you die. Examples are, he jokingly said he wouldn't kick the bucket until he finished writing his book. The movie ended with the villain kicking the bucket. So let's read a story so we can hear these idioms in context. When Mr. Harper passed away, he left a surprise inheritance for his 3 children. Rachel, the eldest, was stunned to find out that their father's last wish was for them to open a cafe together. Dad always wanted us to work as a team, she explained to her brothers, Liam and Mark. Now the ball is in your court. Are you in or out? Liam hesitated. I'm not sure. I don't know the first thing about running a cafe. Mark, on the other hand, was excited. Why not? Let's give it a whirl. It could be fun. However, their enthusiasm hit a roadblock when they saw the state of the building their father had left them. The roof leaked, the walls were crumbling, and it smelled faintly of burnt coffee. This is a disaster, Liam muttered, shaking his head. I can't believe Dad thought we could fix this. It really takes the wind out of my sails. Rachel stayed calm. We don't have to figure everything out at once. Let's start small and stick to a cut and dried plan. We can fix the roof, paint the walls, and slowly build our menu. As the days went by, the siblings worked together, learning more about each other and their father's dream. They realized that even though their father had kicked the bucket, his wish brought them closer. By the time the cafe opened, the community was buzzing with excitement, and the siblings finally understood the real value of their inheritance. Unity. Again, those idioms are take the wind out of your sails, give it a whirl, ball is in your court, cut and dried, kick the bucket. Great job today. There are other videos like this on this channel, and more are coming soon. I'll put playlists and videos right here, and I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Bye.